I want to make sure we had a succession in place where you'd know who when you came to work for us, you would know who you're going to be working with if you have a 30-year career here. So I'm 74, I may be able to make it another 30 years, but I'm kind of doubting it. But in any event, the point is that we wanted to have that succession in place. You know who you're working for, because I know how important the management of a real estate company is. So we achieved that for a while when we brought Joe in. Unfortunately, we had some things that didn't go right there, but Joe was a junior partner. And then we went even farther that way when we merged our company with Ryan's Florida Platinum Realty, as I mentioned in the email. And so that set us up with a succession of time where you would have known management people, you know who are going to be running the business when we can no longer do it. And I hope that will be quite a while yet, but in any event, so we just want to make stability a key thing, because I know how important stability is in this business. You know who you're working for, you know what you're going to be expected to do, you know what you're going to, we know what you're going to expect of us. Happily, we now have reestablished that chain, that succession, and in fact, the person who is one of the two people who is going to be, who has joined us, is going to have a birthday tomorrow. And it's not Maureen.
Right here.
And it's
5-0, it's a big one tomorrow.
It's a famous round birthday, 5-0. So he's got a couple years on me, about 24 actually, 25. But in any event, so that to me is very important. And the thing we did with that, of course, is to put that person in the position as the managing broker, so that they can be running the business on a day-to-day basis. You can get to know them, you can work with them, and we will have a consistent set of expectations and a consistent direction for the company, and consistent market approach for all of these coming years ahead. So we'll evolve with the market and with the business, of course, but you're going to have a consistent management team doing that. So I'm awfully pleased about that. And I think it now puts us in a position to really go out and establish ourselves where I thought we should have been all along. 2 years ago, we came within, we missed the top 10 by not a hell of a lot. We had a couple of deals break our way toward the end of the year. We would have made the top 10 in Naples. And we've fallen back a bit since then, but I think we're going to be back on that track, and Clark is as committed to that goal as I am. I think it's important that we have a mass. One thing will never change: we're not going to have hundreds of realtors here. We're not going to have a huge company. Engel Voelkers is by tradition a boutique company, and by tradition we focus intensively on training all of you how to deal in the upper end of the market. And anybody who's come to the company in all these years, almost without exception, if they've been successful, they've been able to take their average transaction value up. Ryan did it when he joined a few years ago. David's done it since he joined us. Any number of you have been here for a while. Tom's done it. It moved up market to a higher average transaction. That is what we are all about. At the end of the day, what we can offer you is a method and a system and the tools to help you move up market. And the key is that we have to make sure that we bring people on board who want to go up market. That's the key for our business. So I'm just excited as heck. I think it's the feeling to know that we have this capable management team in place is a great feeling. The best part about that is it's not only Clark and Maureen who are highly competent people on the management side, but the support team that you folks have here, I believe, is the best. And I'll put our support team up against anybody in town. Between Stefan and Katie and Sina,
I have this on the record. So.
And now Clark, I think the goal of that team is to make you the fastest, best responding realtor in the town, wherever you do business. If you need something, boom, 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 it's there, it's high quality. You've had a chance to get all these things worked out. We offer you a lot of things in that package. The new websites, I hope you all been working on your websites. The new websites are fabulous. I mean, that is just, the user friendliness is just overwhelming. That's a huge leap forward over what we had before. So the idea is that you can be fast and high quality in everything you do, and that, we believe, is the important key to your long-term success. I know there's a lot of people around town today who are flashing money at you for short-term gain and all these kinds of things, and often promising you all kinds of different things. The thing we promise is, but I've heard from some of those companies who are doing those things, and I'm hearing complaints that it takes too long to get answers. Things have to go to New York, things have to go here, and things have to go here. And this business here, the buck stops right here in this office. There's no further decisions. If you've got something that you have to have done and you need support on an important project, the buck stops right here. And we make the decisions. whether we'll do it, if we won't do it. So you're not going to be out there hanging and dangling. You're going to have fast answers, and we're going to have fast action. And Clark is 100% with us on that. He's doesn't let any moss grow under his feet, or on the rolling stone that gathers the moss. So that, I believe, is a long-term key to success. Great service, great quality, fast, and then we can help you be an even greater agent or advisor than you already are. That's the key to everything for us. So we feel awful good about it. I think the market is starting to rebound too. David and I were talking with the owner of 875 over here yesterday, and it looks like there's a feeling right now that 2019, 2020 is going to be a better year for real estate than the last couple of years. A little bit of a tough market the last couple of years. But I think we're going to see that coming on more strongly, so that's going to help us also. So without further ado, and I know he's not a long-winded speaker because the beer is going to be getting warm if we don't get to it pretty soon. And so without further ado, Minker.
Thank you. So I will keep it short and sweet because I know that probably everyone in the room is thirsty, especially me. First and foremost, I want to thank Jim, Ellen, Ryan for giving me the opportunity, along with my lovely wife, to join such a wonderful team of people. I think Ellen said it best earlier today when we sat in the conference room, and she said some people you just click with right off the get-go, and you know that person's going to be family and they're going to integrate well with your life. Jim, Ellen, Ryan, I feel that way about you, and I can't thank you all enough for offering us this position. A little bit about Marine and me, just so everyone knows, because I know everything happened relatively quickly for folks. We're originally from Wilmington, Delaware. We've been married for about 25 years. It'll be 2024 in October, together for 25 years. We've got a 19-year-old daughter who will soon be 20. She's a rising junior at Georgetown at the apple of our eye. Had the pleasure of having dinner with Jim and Ellen and our daughter a couple days ago, so that was very nice. My family's background was construction in Delaware, so we were the largest general contractor in the area. We built things like schools and churches and car dealerships and banks and pretty much any big GC project we did. I met my wife on one of those jobs. She's an architect. She's got a master's in architecture from Carnegie Mellon, and we got together on a job. Eventually, I became the controller for my dad's company. I was an accountant by training at school, and said, you know what, the GC business is a pretty risky business. What I really enjoy is the commercial buildings that we built for our own account and that we owned and operated. So I set about taking off in that business, and I started, with the help of Marine, designing, managing, and leasing those buildings. We created a pretty nice portfolio. Came down to Southwest Florida one day to visit a friend, had too many cocktails, and said, oh my God, why would we possibly leave this place? I don't want to have winter again. She didn't want to have winter again. We were about to have a daughter, and we needed to have a consistent home. So we came down here and we got involved in the real estate market down here. I've had my broker's license now for about 20 years. And about a year ago, we started talking about the idea of expanding our real estate holdings here and really investing in a brand. And so we looked at a bunch of different brands. We were courted by Compass and Revis and Sotheby's, and we did the whole circuit. But at the end of the day, we live across the street in Royal Harbor, and I was walking our dog, and Timo, who many of you know, is our neighbor. So he's a street over. And so we stopped, and I said, hey, can I pick your brain? Can we talk about it? And he said, well, sure, why don't you come in? So we went into their office, and we talked, and we learned a little bit about the brand, and we saw the materials, and really, the websites, and at that time they were just being redesigned. And we started talking, we said, we really like this. And what we really like about it is that it's more of a niche. We have, Marina and I don't have a desire to be a huge firm. We want to be the right firm. And what we liked about this particular location is we're at the corner of Main Street, USA, here in Naples, Florida, one of the most beautiful places in the world. So that started a relationship with Timo. Timo was kind enough to introduce us to Ryan, who ultimately brought us together with the Hollers. We all had dinner a few times, and over the course of maybe the last 4 or 5 months, really got to know each other. And like I said, I really feel like we're family now at this point, which is a wonderful thing to say. So the opportunity came where Jim and Ellen are thinking about starting to divest, and we want to invest. I hope that we have the energy and the intelligence to really help propel us to the next level. I want to say thank you to everyone here, especially to Katie and Sina and Stefan, who have made the transition so easy. Jeff is not with us today, but I want to thank him because he played an important role over the last couple of days to really help make sure that the transition was a smooth one. So everyone knows he is going to remain on call for a period of time, and we're going to continue to pay him for that period of time in order to make sure that if I have any questions, problems, anything that may have happened 3 months ago that I need an answer for, he's going to be there. So we're really trying to do everything right to make sure that we have a very smooth transition going forward. I think that's probably enough for me. My job now is to go out and recruit more agents and make sure that the agents that we have continue to be the foundation of the company. I want to give you all the support and knowledge that we have. If anyone has an architecture question, for example, there's your resource. If you got a client building something in the city, they want to put an addition on, they want to change a roof line, they've got a question about code, they've got a problem with the city, that's your girl, and she'll be able to help you through that process. We're also trying to create a little bit of a synergy in another business that we're involved in, and that's a residential home building business with our friends Paul and Kathleen Stanton. You may have heard of it, it's Seascape. We have more permits, I think, and houses under construction in Old Naples right now than anyone else, literally. So we're going to put Seascape upstairs with Jim and Ellen's permission in the vacant space that we have upstairs. And the idea is going to be if you sell a lot and somebody needs to build a house, take them upstairs and give those folks a shot. And conversely, if we build a house and we need somebody to sell it, we can come downstairs. We're going to make the upstairs offices a lot cleaner, neater, more modern, more in keeping with what we have here. Maybe put some private advisor offices up there, and then you guys are going to think this is crazy, but maybe the last 10 feet of the space, we're going to open it up to kind of a lounge area with maybe a high top table with USB plug-ins, a little bar. If you have a client, you want to have a glass of wine, you want to overlook Fifth Avenue, have a more casual conversation, maybe more private on the balcony upstairs, it's going to be available to you. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do. I think I have 3 recruitment appointments tomorrow with folks that are collectively might be $45 million between them on an annual basis. So that's my job. My job is going to be to support you guys and be out and about trying to attract new agents. Anybody have any questions for me? The other thing is, I will be right there. So if you need me, call me. I'll be there, and I think everyone can attest so far I've been here a fair amount, right? All right, babe, do you want to say anything?
You know what, I just wanted to thank Jim and Ellen and Ryan for the opportunity for our family. They were so welcoming from the get-go. And I mean, timing was kind of everything, because we were in the mode to expand real estate for our family, and it just worked out. So we are so grateful, and so grateful to get to know more of you over the next several months, and see how we can all help each other to make the business even better than it already is. So thank
I
you.
forgot one other thing. We also own and operate with the managing partner of the Wilmington Blue Rocks, which is a minor league baseball team. I love baseball, so y'all will probably get tired of hearing about that. But we have cool things like World Series rings and Babe Ruth's actual game-worn uniforms and stuff like that. So anybody's a baseball guy and want to talk about really cool stuff. My late father actually had the largest privately held collection of baseball memorabilia in the world. Some of it's on loan to Cooperstown right now, and it's pretty good stuff. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Jim and Ellen. Thank you.